Welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to talk to you about Marvel's Avengers and how the player base has absolutely skyrocketed. Although I don't think that will last too long, it's actually dipping fairly fast already. But then upcoming we have the Wakanda Black Panther expansion on the 17th of this month, providing there are no delays. So the reason behind, the only reason I can figure out behind this player base increase is because they had a free-to-play weekend. So on Steam, a lot of people trying the game out for free, and then what's happened from that is they also had a 40% discount on the game. So if people picked it up over the weekend, tried it completely free, they enjoyed the game, it's 40% off, they're going to be encouraged to purchase the game. For the general game itself, I think I've put nearly 100 hours into it. I typically now play it with a trainer. However, when the expansion does come out, I will be playing legit, at least until I've completed the expansion. Then when it's going back to all the original stuff, I'll put the trainer back on. So I will be experiencing it how it should be experienced. I won't be cheating straight off the bat. But the latest content to come into the game definitely would have encouraged players, and I don't mean the actual content itself, because there was a quote-unquote raid. It requires 4 players. You go in, you do all these different mechanics. The boss fight in that, in my opinion, was dreadful. It was just a mixture of Captain America with the shield, Iron Man with the thrusters, even Iron Man's mask. They called it a super adaptoid. I wasn't too interested, because that boss fight, you're taking down that super adaptoid, it basically clones itself, and there are several you have to fight throughout that boss fight. But the one thing they did do, which I think is a really good addition to the game, is implementing the ability for you and your friends, if you've got a party of 4, you can all run Hawkeye, Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, any of the characters that you want to, you can all run exactly the same character. I don't know why it took them so long to bring it into the game permanently, because they did a limited time event not too long ago, but it's now in the game, and I think if you, basically put together the ability to use any character you want, regardless of how many there are in your party, the free-to-play weekend, and 40% off, that's why it reached back up. It was pretty much sitting at 3-figure concurrent players for a little while, and it didn't go up to 4 figures, it went up to 5. There were over 10,000 people playing at the same time. That is more than 5 times of what is playing Outriders. And that's in a 24-hour window. However, the last time I checked it, probably a couple of days before you're seeing this video, it was sitting at 7,000. And I do believe it's going to continue to dip, possibly back to between 1,000 and 2,000. And then when the expansion drops, I believe it will go back up to 5 figures. For whatever reason, Avengers, whenever they have any type of content drop, sale, or anything like that, they pick up decent numbers. They're always typically at least doubling or tripling their concurrent players, and that is on Steam. There are more people that will play this on console, and I believe the free weekend was across all platforms, so you can kind of figure out the numbers. It's definitely brought in a lot of players, whether they're new or returning, and I think it's quite good. The game itself, if you have stuff to do, is enjoyable. There's not actually too much in this game. You have the story stuff, and then you have Avengers Initiative, which is the multiplayer at the end, where you've got the hives, you've got missions, you can do the, I forget what they're called, but you basically take down the bosses. I think they're villain sectors or something like that. You have them, then you've got the hives. They've just recently allowed mega hives to be multiplayer compatible. So I think the game is definitely taking a step in the right direction. If you can pick this up on sale, I would recommend it, because there were a lot of bugs. There are still quite a few bugs in there. But from what I've played, there's been nothing game-breaking. Even when I played this raid thing, I fell through the map as I was climbing up an object onto a different surface. And I tried climbing up, I fell through, but what it did, strangely enough, is I went through a portal in the first place to go up a level. So when I climbed up this obstacle, I fell through, I ended up back on the floor below me, and I was able to go through the portal again and catch up with my team. So it was an incredibly weird one. And then I fell through the map again, and just triggering a countdown to move on to the next floor, because I believe it was in the Mega Hive, that brought me back into the map, and it was fine. So technically, in a way, they are game breaking because you're falling through the map. But there are ways back out of them from at least the ones I've experienced. So I wouldn't say there are any actual game-breaking bugs, because you can get back out of falling out of the map, like you can get back into the map. But I'd say there are at least a handful of bugs still in there. Nothing too big, nothing too bad, from my personal experience anyway. And as I said, if you haven't done all of the content available, you're probably going to enjoy this. It can be a decent game, it can be fun to play, especially if you're a fan of the Avengers. There are quite a few characters to choose from when you're playing. They all have their different play styles, you've got your skill points, your champion points, there is quite a lot to it. In terms of your character progression, all the different gear and stuff you can get. So yeah, I believe mixing the new content, like the new playable mission, the ability to go into a match as any character, any party size, the free-to-play weekend, and the 40% discount has done this game the world of good. To go back up to 5-figure concurrent players, even if it's only for a day, when there have been major fixes for Outriders, it's barely gained another 1,000 players. When there's been updates for Dark Alliance, they've barely gained another 10 players. The same with Hood Outlaws and Legends. A lot of games can release updates, new content, and it doesn't do anything. But for whatever reason, Avengers, regardless of what they are doing, when they release something, they do typically increase their player base quite a bit, even if it is only temporary and it lasts a week or two. And as I said, 17th of this month, providing it doesn't get delayed, we have the Black Panther expansion coming, which I believe should be quite a bit of fun. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.